Something is missing off the ShelterLogic. We put a white tarp on it and it's gone. Oh wait, and is the whole roof ripped? Oh no.
Welcome to our channel. I'm Kathy, and my husband Rich and I are building an off-grid, earth-sheltered house here in the Adirondack Mountains. Like most people, we are living on a tight budget, especially while contracting and building our own unconventional home. So a few years ago, when we financed at 0% with nothing down a new tractor, we realized we needed a place to store it for the winter. So we decided to buy a ShelterLogic from Tractor Supply. And this winter, with a huge windstorm that we had, that ShelterLogic finally reached the end of its life. In the last few years, we did just about everything we could to keep it going as long as possible. So the big questions we're going to answer today are: how long did it last, and was it worth it?
Triple bonus pack, extra stuff.
Yeah, huh?
That's what makes it so awesome at Tractor Supply. And it's got the heavier 9-ounce plastic instead of the 7-ounce.
It says here, three strong men.
What? It does not.
An adult times 3 should only take 2 hours.
So how long should it take you and I?
3 hours.
All day.
All day.
We chose the round top ShelterLogic with the heavy duty material because we live in the Adirondacks and we have hot summers and cold winters. And that makes it a very harsh environment for anything left outside during any season, but especially in the winters with the heavy snowfall. Building sheds can be expensive and tarps generally don't last very long, so portable sheds like the ShelterLogic are extremely common around here. In fact, if you drive down just about any local road, you'll see one in just about every backyard. That's why we chose this ShelterLogic from Tractor Supply. The round top would let the snow easily slide off, and it had the thicker material.
We did a good job, Kat.
Considering that it says that it needs 3+ men, we've now learned that I, one woman, can do the job of at least 2 or more men. Would you agree?
I agree. I'd be foolish not to agree.
It took us 2 days, right?
Yeah.
About 4 or 5 hours each day.
Yeah, because when the sun came out and it was beating down over here, we stopped.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's it. Another addition to our little spot here in the woods.
Yeah.
But when it came time to put the tractor in, we realized a few modifications would be necessary.
How close is it?
Well, if the door rolled up wasn't there, it's really only a couple inches. We were able to gain a few inches by modifying the way the door rolled up. However, it wasn't quite enough. So after digging down the dirt at the entryway, the tractor finally fit like a glove. But it wasn't long before we realized another modification would be necessary. Look at that. You're right, honey. That's a problem.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna lay the tarp down on the ground.
So we laid down that heavy-duty tarp, and despite driving ATVs, buggies, tractors, and everything else on it, we haven't had a single problem with condensation since then. That simple tarp on the floor was the perfect solution.
Yeah,
Looks great though.
It's holding up.
It held up just fine. All down the side of it too. The snow just rolled right off or slid right off. Good.
I mean, it's not really pulling too tight on here.
No,
either.
it's fine.
I mean, it's got some pressure on it. You can see it, but...
Yeah. What are you gonna do? We had 1.5 feet of snowfall here. How is it? Is it warm in there?
Yep.
It is, right? Oh, it feels good in here. Yep, no condensation. It looks great.
I have these LED lights. They have an adhesive back, self-stick, and I thought, why not try and use these up inside this ShelterLogic and give it some light. Will it be bright enough? I don't know. We'll see at night. Alright, so now we can check out what I did today.
Oh, you did something today?
Oh, I didn't really do much. Let's see. Whoa!
Wow!
That glows.
That's awesome, honey.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, I like it.
I love it.
Lights, baby.
Let there be light.
I put that solar panel up there. That way I can keep the battery tended on this thing.
By that second winter, we were keeping the tractor inside our newly built garage, so we were using the ShelterLogic to park Dad's side-by-side.
And he's in.
In the spring of 2022, when we began receiving all the materials from our earth-sheltered house kit, we decided to store them in the ShelterLogic until they were needed.
We have another leak. Oh, what's that? Oh, that's really bad.
It got wet.
That got wet? Oh, there's another one right there. Oh no, honey. Our ShelterLogic is leaking. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try and tape it.
From outside or inside?
Inside.
So the red tape isn't sticking good to the outside because the paint is literally coming off the outside of the ShelterLogic. It's been totally deteriorated by probably the sunlight. Oh, now it's coming over here. Oh, the whole thing is leaking. Forget about it. You know what? The only answer right now would be to cover it with a tarp. The whole ShelterLogic.
Yeah, I think I'm just wasting my time with the tape.
You are. We can't. Let's just try to protect everything that's in here. Well, that's life on the homestead. ShelterLogic's on its way out. We covered that membrane, and that mat, which all has to go on our earth-sheltered house and isn't allowed to get wet.
It was literally 2 years to the day that the problems with the ShelterLogic began.
Rich and I got a tarp at Ollie's. Now we're going to try to cover the ShelterLogic and protect our investment, which is all the clay-tight membrane that is the waterproofing for our earth-sheltered house. We didn't think this was going to be a big deal because we should have been getting ready to put it on next week. But now that the concrete contractor backed out on us, we're not getting our waterproofing done, so we need to protect it throughout the whole winter.
Better than nothing.
I'm going to work my way over to the ShelterLogic and get the snow off the top of it. I mean, look at this. It's up to my knees. That is my knee. Unreal. That's much better. Yeah. I don't know about the size, but we'll see. Okay.
I don't want any more snow, Kathy. I have a lot of precious materials in here.
Unfortunately, the roof of the ShelterLogic was now very fragile, and with only a thin tarp covering it, we had to make sure that we cleared all the heavy snow off of it to keep it from collapsing onto our very expensive building materials.
Getting everything out of the ShelterLogic. The tarp blew off the top, so it's a good time to get everything out and get it all moved in to the garage and ready to waterproof the dome.
It was nothing short of a miracle that the tarp lasted not only through that crazy winter, but all the way through August, when a big wind finally ripped the tarp apart. We were so busy waterproofing, insulating, and burying our house over the next few months that the tarp was literally hanging on until November, when we finally got a chance to fix it.
All right, white tarp on this ShelterLogic. Hopefully that'll help this winter. We'll just secure it a little bit more. It was such a huge tarp that we just tied it on the one side, folded it under on the other, and then just used a bunch of cement blocks. Our neighbor helped us pull it up and over, and I think we're in good shape. Definitely gonna make a difference. Our neighbor's leaving right now. We didn't videotape, we just took advantage of a moment when we had some extra hands.
That's it.
Love our neighbors. All right, good morning. It is bitter cold out today. Yesterday it got up to 55 degrees in the afternoon, and today it's 14 degrees. Everything froze solid overnight. It was a muddy, muddy mess yesterday. In fact, the UPS driver came and got stuck in our driveway making a delivery. Anyway, we got him out, and last night was wind up to 60 miles an hour or more. So we heard a lot of things blowing around. We just wanted to come out and take a quick peek and see what might have blown. The dome looks okay. How do the solar panels look? A little bit of a layer of ice. Uh-oh. Something is missing off the ShelterLogic. We put a white tarp on it and it's gone. Oh wait, and is the whole roof ripped? Oh no. Oh, I see the white tarp behind it. Oh. Ooh, that's not good. Well, there is completely no roof left on the ShelterLogic. Oh, that's not cool. I thought that white tarp would hold. Yeah. It is officially ripped. I guess a little snow came in. I don't think there's anything in here. The buggy got snowed on, not the end of the world. There's really nothing in here to get ruined per se. So We will have to get that white tarp back on. But yeah, it could be worse. Could always be worse. There's the tarp back there. Oh, okay. Looks like a barbecue was blown over too. Wow. The tarp didn't completely blow away because it is still tied to this brick here. That wind was fierce.
We fixed it, and in March, the winds partially blew it off again.
So the original covering did not last long at all in this climate. However, we are able to still use it by putting this heavy-duty tarp on it. And it is waterproof. And it is taken care of and protecting everything we have stored in here. The sun does damage, and the weight of the snow and the cold does damage. You can see the old canopy there, and we will eventually rip that off. But we will continue to use this because the frame is in surprisingly good shape. So whether we just keep a tarp on it or we put something hard on it, like a hard plastic roofing material or metal roofing, we will continue to use this as a shelter. The frame is good. So in the end, was it worth it? For us, yes, because it protected materials that we needed to keep protected while building our house for a short while. Other than that, I'm not so sure it's worth all the money. What are your thoughts? I'm Kathy, and Rich and I are creating a simpler life in the Adirondacks, but simple doesn't mean easy. See you in the next video.
This will be cool for the video. Holy crap, can I do this? Oh, I'm too old. Oh, I just leaned on that. What's that? Definitely knocks you around a bit. Oh my God. Big rocks. Lots of them. Oh, dude. Scared me.